The height of the Q2 2024 earnings season is behind us, but the markets have been providing traders with ample opportunities as the summer winds down. The S&P 500 had its worst and best sessions since 2022 earlier this month, just days apart from one another. As we inch closer to the hotly anticipated September FOMC meeting and the 2024 election, what trading opportunities and economic events are you looking forward to this fall? Buckle up, traders. It's setting up to be a huge week for economic data and Fed updates. Get ready for this year's Jackson Hole Symposium from Wednesday to Friday, as well as the minutes from July's FOMC meeting. Lots of earnings on the docket as well, from cybersecurity staples to Chinese ADRs. It's time to prepare for the week ahead, but first, make sure you hit the like and subscribe. Monday kicks off with pre-market earnings from names like Zim Integrated Shipping Services and Estee Lauder. A few economic data points to be aware of in the morning. We'll get the CB leading index change for the month of July at 10 a.m., followed by the 3-month and 6-month bill auctions at 11:30 a.m. Also on watch throughout the week is EnerCom Denver, the Energy Investment Conference, scheduled from August 18th to 21st. Chevron and recent small-cap runner Serve Robotics are among the companies set to attend on Monday. Huge earnings report after the bell from Palo Alto Networks. The cybersecurity heavyweight reported 15% year-over-year revenue growth and stronger than expected earnings per share during its last report, but its revenue guidance for fiscal 2024 came in slightly below analyst estimates. Let's see if they're able to meet or exceed revenue estimates of $2.16 billion for fiscal Q4. Another round of earnings on watch for Tuesday morning, including reports from retailer Lowe's and Xpeng. During its Q1 2020 report, Lowe's maintained its sales forecast for the fiscal year, but beat expectations for both revenue and earnings per share. Xpeng, meanwhile, delivered fewer vehicles than its competitors in the Chinese EV space for July 2024, and they're expected to post revenue of $6.32 billion for fiscal Q2. Bit of a quieter day for economic data leading up to some big updates later in the week, but keep an eye on comments from Fed's Bostic at 1:35 p.m. We'll also get the API crude oil stock change at 4:30 p.m. A few earnings to be aware of after the bell, with companies like Lazy Boy and Toll Brothers scheduled to report. Wednesday morning is a big one for retail earnings, with Target, Macy's, and TJX companies all slated to report. Target posted an EPS miss and sales beat for Q1 2024, with inventories dropping by 80% on a year-over-year basis. Macy's, meanwhile, announced in mid-July that it's no longer in discussions with Arkhouse and Brigade, following months of reports and speculations around a potential buyout. Chinese EV company and recent IPO Zeekr is also scheduled to report this morning. Some exciting economic updates to be aware of, including the start of the 2024 Jackson Hole Symposium. This year's symposium, entitled Reassessing the Effectiveness and Transition of Monetary Policy, is scheduled to take place from Wednesday to Friday. Stay tuned for any comments from Fed Chair Powell or other FOMC members ahead of the committee's September meeting. We'll also get the release of the minutes from the July FOMC meeting at 2 p.m. Let's see if that release gives us any insight into the Fed's somewhat controversial decision to leave rates unchanged in July. What are your expectations for the symposium and the FOMC minutes? Let us know in the comments. There are a few other prints to watch out for throughout the day. We'll get the EIA crude oil and gasoline stock changes at 10:30 a.m., followed by the 17-week bill auction at 11:30 a.m. and the 20-year bond auction at 1 p.m. If all that excitement wasn't enough, we also have earnings from Snowflake and Zoom to look out for after the close. Snowflake's earnings report should be interesting, given the spate of cybersecurity attacks and outages over the past month, with the company itself being implicated in the recent hacking of AT&T. Another round of companies set to report on Thursday morning. Watch out for reports from BJ Wholesale Club and Peloton, as well as Chinese ADRs Bilibili and Baidu. Quite a few economic data prints to watch out for throughout the day, starting with the Chicago Fed National Activity Index for July and initial and continued jobless claims at 8:30 a.m. At 9:45 a.m., we'll get the S&P Global Composite and Manufacturing Flash PMI data for the month of August, followed by existing home sales and the month-over-month change in existing home sales for July at 10 a.m. At 10:30 a.m., we'll get the EIA natural gas stock change, after which we're expecting the 15-year and 30-year mortgage rates at 12 p.m. and the 30-year TIPS auction at 1 p.m. At 4:30 p.m., we'll get the Fed's balance sheet. After the close, watch out for earnings reports from names like Kava, Bill Holdings, and Intuit. Kava raised its guidance for fiscal 2024 during its last report, which exceeded estimates for sales and earnings per share. With a short float of approximately 8.7%, this stock could be one to watch. Look at a few pieces of economic data to close out a very busy week on Friday, starting with the new home sales and month-over-month change in new home sales for July at 10 a.m. Both of these metrics are estimated to come in slightly higher than their June prints. Our last economic update of the week comes at 1 p.m. with the Baker Hughes rig counts. And that's the week ahead. Thanks for sticking around with us. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons and leave a comment to let us know what earnings report or economic update you're most excited to trade this week. You can catch us at 8:30 a.m. from Monday to Friday on TraderTV.live.